I consider myself to be, if anything, just a regular person, even though I've experienced a lot in my lifetime. I think with most of the blessings that I've experienced have just been because I've been blessed. I think it came from coming from good people. My family grew up in Tennessee, so they're good-hearted, good-natured people, and we believe in if there's something we can do to help you, we'll help. If it's not something we can do to help you, we'll get out of the way and just encourage you to go on. But we're not here to force ourselves on anybody. And we just hope that if there's something we can do to help you, that we'll be able to answer your questions and at least provide a different narrative than what people are seeing on TV. It's so unfortunate, but you talk to a lot of African Americans, they have no idea of what things are like here in Uganda or East Africa or South Africa or even West Africa. They're so used to the negative press that they think that everywhere is like Nigeria in a small remote area where they're kidnapping people. Kidnapping is very rare, and it's only happening in certain places and where there's some fighting or tensions. Violence is actually very low when compared to the United States. There's really no such thing as racial, as racism. There may be some tribalism and some other issues, but racism really doesn't really exist in that white nationalist kind of form. So a lot of the things that we watch on TV here, empathy, we very much empathize, but it's hard to really, we look at it and say, well, that's terrible. But our police here don't even carry guns. So the situation is just completely different. The cost of living here, the cost of living is very low. You can easily live here on $700 a month. A person on Social Security can come here and have a very good lifestyle on about $700 a month, maybe up to about $900. A couple can live easily on $1,200 to $1,500. And I'm not talking about scrounging. I mean, they would have a house. They would probably have a maid. They would have, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house. They'd have a compound, or they'd have a nice apartment in town. If that's what they wanted, they could live on a golf course. If they wanted, they could live close to the lake if that's what they wanted. So there's lots of options, and the cost of living is very, very low. The cost of food is low, plus the food is organic. Most of the food you receive here, that you get here, is organic. The lake is right here. Lake Victoria is right here outside of my door, less than half a block. And so they come around with fresh fish, and a fresh fish will cost you about $4 to $5. And I'm talking about probably a 2.5 kilo, which is about 5 pounds to 6 pounds. That costs you about $5. The food, if you buy a big bunch of matoke, which is the staple food here, matoke may cost you 15,000 Ugandan shillings, and the shillings, the conversion rate is 3,600 shillings to $1. So in relationship to things, my rent here in my 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, I'm here in my guest house, by the way, this is my office. And so this costs me $235 a month. And the cut the grass, the maid, everything else may add another $100 a month. To cut the grass, the utilities, everything else. So I'm probably in for about $350 a month for my housing expenses. And then there's other expenses, of course, transportation and so on. The cost of food it's actually pretty low. And I'll get up and walk around a little bit, so you won't just get to see me in the office, but this is my office, and I'm not sure if everybody could see me. Can you see me, Tyrone? So this
I
is my
don't see
office.
you at all.
No.
Then, oh, you can't see me?
No,
Okay, let's see why. Oh. Okay,
I don't think you have.
Hey, there you go. I'm so sorry. I wish you had said something to me. Anyway, this is my office, and this is my compound. And so this compound cost me $235 a month. This compound. And so, I lived in Manyonyo, which was right by the lake as well. But I wanted to be closer to where I'm building homes. This area is called Sky Beach, and it's in Nalugala, which is still it's in Entebbe proper. So, but it's right off of something called Garuga Road and Entebbe Road. And I posted on your site a place called Garuga. It's called Pearl Marina. And they're building houses. Oh, that over my shoulder there, that's Penguin Hotel, Four Penguins Hotel. Right in front of me, a few blocks down, is Sky Beach Hotel. Actually, not even a few blocks, it's less than 1 block straight ahead. It's Sky Beach Hotel, but it's very, if you listen, you hear birds chirping, it's very quiet, it's very peaceful. There's really no problems here that I can speak of, except for, infrastructure. You might find infrastructure might be an issue, like roads may not be as nice as the United States. It is still rustic. It's a very much developing nation. And as it's a developing nation, that means there's going to be issues. The number of hospitals, but they've had a big push of building hospitals over the years. So there's a very large push for building hospitals and better infrastructure to bring Uganda into the 21st century. And so my living here, I've actually really enjoyed it. As I mentioned, I moved here about in September 2018. And I was on about 6 medications. I retired, like I said, I've had some metal in my body, some other issues. And so I lost about 25 pounds within 3 months. My sister came over in 10 days. She lost 6 pounds in 10 days. I sent her a notice to join us here. Her name is Valerie. And so if my sister joins, that'll be great. My brother, Will, came over here too. And, he lost a few pounds in less than a couple of weeks. And we actually eat more food. We eat more food and we lose weight because the food is actually real food. And something like that, you just really can't communicate to people that the food they're eating is not healthy. It's actually full of GMOs, it's full of pesticides, herbicides. The water is not good for you. The air is not clean. And then it's kind of a toxic environment. So I chose Uganda. And I didn't just choose Uganda out of the blue. Yeah, when I was in seminary, I did my research paper on Uganda. So I actually studied the demographics. I studied everything about the place. And so I kind of had a good idea. It was a country that was really in need at the time. There was a lot of problems 22 years ago. And so I said, look, this is somewhere where I can spend $10,000 and build a school. I can spend $50,000 and build a church. It's a community center. It's a church, it's a community center, it's a place for meetings, everything else for $50,000. And you just couldn't do that. You can start an agricultural project here. We started a poultry project 22 years ago with Bishop John's compound. We spent $300. And we were able to buy 100 chicks. We were able to buy the food. We were able to get a veterinarian to come and see them. We were able to put in electricity and lights in the place for $300. And we did other poultry projects as well. We helped some of the AIDS widows there. They leased some land. I think for an acre of land was about $100, $150 an acre for a year. And so they got at least crops out of that. And so we were able to help some AIDS widows who have been rejected by their community. We were able to help them lease some land, buy some G-nuts, peanuts, basically. They grew peanuts, and grew 20, 30 big, huge 50-kilo bags of peanuts, sold them, and then they started on. Now them as well as Smile Africa, I supported them for about 7 years from the profits that we made. Everybody that dealt with us in my business, which is 3 Core Properties, they actually donated. Our attorneys, our accountants, our lawyers, everyone donated. And the company donated 10% of our profits to missions work. And because of that, we were able to donate a little over $250,000 from the business, which is about 1 billion shillings. So it made a huge impact here in Uganda. Some of the people here on this will come in on this chat can verify that we actually gave a lot of this money. And I gave about the same of my own, from my own pocket, because it was the right thing to do. And I've never missed it. And I've been truly blessed because of it. And so we did these projects. We did agricultural projects, churches, schools, housing, a lot of different things that we did. We actually did a program for college students as well, where we kind kind of helps college students to stay on the straight and narrow, away from family. All of a sudden, a lot of college students were getting into trouble. And so we had a program called End Time Global Ministries through a young man that became an adopted son of mine named Gad Rugaji. And Gad is actually now a regional district commissioner. So he's a pretty high-ranking official, but I kind of adopted him a little over 20 years ago as well as a few other young men and women who look at me as kind of a surrogate father. And the thing was to try not to just give money, but to give time, talent, and truth. And I'm sincere about that you don't just put your money, because you can make a lot of money. It really is, it's hard not to make money. The problem here with Uganda is not that the people are not smart, they're brilliant. They speak 2-3 languages, they're very good in school, their mathematics skills far exceed that in the United States. The issue is resources, and mostly capital. I mean, they have natural resources, but lack capital to be able to maximize the potential of those resources. And Daniel, who is on here, was a nice young man that I respect very much. Like I said, he has over 600 acres of coffee and, just looking for distribution networks to be able to move the coffee. But they have hundreds of thousands of kilos of coffee. And Uganda is one of the biggest coffee producers in the world, and the largest producer in Africa, one of the largest 3 producers in Africa. And so there's an immense opportunity in agriculture. There's immense opportunity in housing. The population is exploding. The population here is growing at least 3-4% a year. The economy is growing by 5-6%. Inflation is running about 3 or 4%. Banks pay somewhere in the neighborhood for fixed deposits. The low end for international banks is about 7% on a certificate of deposit. Here they call it a fixed deposit. The high end is about 12%. And you can verify all this. I have copies of it as well from the newspapers, and they publicize it like once a quarter. And so it's a kind of a requirement to publicize it through the Bank of Uganda. And so you can see where you want to put your money and things. You come here, you get your visa, you get a lease, so lease, or you're an Airbnb or whatever. You take that to the bank with your visa, copy of your passport. You can open up a bank account, and you can act. And so you don't need an investment counselor. You don't really need that. Just go put it in a fixed deposit. Those business professionals out there, the rule of 72. You take the interest rate you receive, you divide it into 72. That's the number of your money to double. So at 12%, your money doubles every 6 years. At 10%, it doubles every 7.2 years. And so your money is growing much faster. You can actually, some people, if they were thinking of this, could take a portion of their 401k or IRA, as I did, just put it into treasuries, which actually pay 12 to 14%. So treasuries, Ugandan treasuries pay 12 to 14%. Now there's taxes on those treasuries, of course. It's about 15, 20% or something like that, but it's just on the profit. And so it far exceeds the 2% or even 3% I was receiving in America. This is on deposits over $50,000. And so the interest, and some of you are as old as I am, and so you remember during the Reagan administration, about 1985, 86, banks in America were paying 10% interest on certificates of deposit. And so I had a business at that time, and I deposited whenever I wasn't using money, I put it into a certificate of deposit. Where here, you can live on $700 to $800 a month. And if you have a certain amount of money you can put aside just with the bank, with the government, you can actually live off of the interest and never touch the principal, if you have enough money, of course. And so those are some of the things I wanted to kind of bring your attention that Africa has better weather, friendly people, lots of opportunity, phenomenal growth. One of the fastest, East Africa is several of the fastest growing economies in the world. Some of the difficult things, so I'm giving you some of the easy things. The food is healthy, the weather is healthy, the environment is healthy. Now, if you're looking for some of the negatives, the infrastructure is not close to the United States. It's a developing nation. And so you have to be able to understand that if you don't like going to Costa Rica, I love Costa Rica. Guanacaste was one of my favorite places. I liked Florianopolis, Brazil. I used to go to Cabo San Lucas every year, but I like rustic and things because I'm ex-military. But if you don't like rustic, then it's not going to you want to be in the city. You don't want to be in the outlying areas. You want to be in the city of Kampala. I personally don't like Kampala because it's too much traffic. I don't like being in traffic jams. I don't like breathing fumes from cars. I like peaceful settings and, fresh breezes and beautiful landscape. I like things like paradise. And for me personally, living here is like living in paradise, especially compared to the US. It's paradise. It's for Black people, it's just a breath of fresh air. It's relaxing. And I would highly recommend it. And if not here, there's plenty of other places around here. Tanzania is beautiful. Kenya is beautiful. Rwanda is a very organized and clean city and clean country. I mean, you can buy real estate in any of these. If you just want to buy a 2-bedroom apartment in a nice subdivision or something, you can get a 2-bedroom apartment or a condominium for $40,000. If you want to buy a nice, beautiful house, you can easily buy a house for $100,000. If you want to get right on the lake, it's going to be a little more premium. If you want to get on top of a mountain, it's a little bit more premium, but you're still looking at less than $150,000 for a 4 or 5-bedroom house. So those are some of my reasons why I think people want to move here. If you just turn off the TV, watch some of the videos. There's actually lots of people who are YouTubers out there that kind of tell you. I think Kinganda is one. He's on YouTube. I think there's another young man called King Obatuba. I think you put a video of his on there, Tyro, that's out there as well. There's African Tigress. She's over here in Kenya, but she comes here to Uganda. There's a young man named Wandi, I believe it is Wandi. He's great. He travels all over. He's from Nigeria. And so if you really want to get a good idea of what's going on, just watch some of the videos. Just type in Uganda when you get to YouTube or something and, look around. There's shopping malls, there's movie theaters, there's golf courses, there's boating. You can catch a boat. You can go fishing. You can spend shop and the spas for the ladies who are there. Okay, to get a pedicure and a manicure is $9. Pedicure and manicure. All right. To get your hair did. All right, to get your hair did, it's somewhere around $15. And I'm talking about cut style, cut wash style, massage, everything. Gentlemen, to get your hair, I keep my hair low. That's the military. But a haircut is $4. And that means cut, wash, and a massage. $4, including the tip. Okay, if you want a big splurge, you go to the real nice place, $5 for a haircut. So, and they'll trim your beard. I see a couple of folks got beards out there, so they'll trim your beard, and all that stuff for you too. You can even have and massages. There's the spas. I believe they charge somewhere in the neighborhood of $15 for a massage, and then you might spend $17 to $20 for a hot stone massage or deep tissue massage, something like that. It's like, $20 maybe. And that includes the tip. Okay, dinner, you go out, you could spend anywhere from, I think, 10,000 shillings, which will get you a nice little dinner, local food. That's about $3, a little less than $3. No, I'm sorry, about $3.25. If you go to a very nice resort and you get a very nice dinner, it's going to cost you about $13. And that's at the resorts. And I'll post some videos of me at the Speak Resort. Some of the nicer resorts are in Mignonio, where I just moved from. The Speak is a very nice one. The Serena, very, very nice. They also have those hotels downtown, or resorts. There's a Speak downtown, I believe, as well. But there's some very beautiful hotels, just not drop dead gorgeous resorts with tennis, basketball, full spas, swimming pools, everything that you can imagine, boat rentals, golf. So whatever you want to do, you can do it, and you can do it on a fraction of the cost. Now that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you today. And what I really wanted to do was answer your questions, because it's okay to hear me speak, but that doesn't show you what I feel, and what I experience here by living here every day, and why I have hundreds of acres of land. Okay, and why I have hundreds of acres of land in America, yet I choose to live here. I'm choosing to live here because it's just a much better environment. And at my age, I think I've earned a break. And I've worked very, very hard on my life. And I don't think you should have to struggle with trying to, just live your life and be happy. I think everybody deserves to be happy. And with that, if you got any questions, please ask.
I'm looking at the expressions on Rita, your face. It tells me that you've taken in a lot of good information, that you love what you're hearing. Do you have any questions? I would love to hear a question come from you. I don't know why, but I think you might be the one to be the first one up to ask a wonderful question to Professor G, please.
Well, I have not had the pleasure of going to Uganda, but I have been to the continent. I've been to South Africa, Nigeria. In 2019, I went home to Ghana because they asked African Americans to come home. And I can co-sign on what this gentleman said is it's kind of difficult to explain, but when I got off the plane, I felt like I was home. It's like my soul said, welcome home. I loved it over there. I don't know if I'm ready to move over there, but I would love to come and visit Uganda and add that to my repertoire of going home to the continent.
Wonderful. I'm sure there's other thoughts. Professor G, you've done a phenomenal presentation by all means. And listen, we only have 11 people on. That really exceeded my expectation. This is the first of the many meetings to come. And in the future, we can expect maybe 50 or more people on. So this is the first one. And I do understand progress is slow, but once I think everybody who's on here, inspired as I have been today, we'll get more people in the future on other presentations. So Professor, I'm going to extend another invite for you to come back again and share the wonderful information that you shared. Sure. Rita, you have a question, I think.
Yes. Is there anything in the works to plan a trip for this group to go to Uganda?
Wonderful question. Let me say this, and Professor, maybe I can answer this. We are working behind the scene. Peter is on, Peter Sherrill. All right, Peter, you're gonna have to unmute. We haven't coordinated properly, but we're working on a bigger mission. And Peter, you might want to share what we're trying to do. It's going to take time to get there, but I'll let Peter speak.
Well, where do I start? I think it all starts when I found out I was 93.5% African. I was like, wow. And so I've been doing some things post my campaign for POTUS. And I've been doing a lot of work with the International Institute for African Scholars, the Human Rights Defense Group International, and now I'm on the board of PATH University, who was working on building a university in Guinea. We have our second board meeting, brilliant minds coming together, nothing but PhDs and all this kind of stuff, but working on putting an agricultural university incorporating STREAM technology, science, technology, reading, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And so that's what kind of brings me to the continent. I've met a queen in the Northwest region of South Africa, and we're working on some projects to build land developer community. But what me and Mr. Tyrone McLean, who was following me during on my campaign trail, that's how we got to meet each other. One of his associates had referenced that the Jewish people get money, or the Jewish or the Israeli government gets money from the United States government for people to go to Israel. So one of the things that I'm doing as part of the Human Rights Defense Group International is trying to connect with the ambassador, the new ambassador for the United States to the United Nations, to find out how we can get funding to send African Americans over to the continent. because one of the other things that I'm also doing is uh, the former ambassador for South Africa of the for the United States uh, basically did a whistleblower complaint against France and their former colonies, who they are still colonializing and making them sign colonialization pacts. And so one of my objectives is that as an African American and in politics and in government, I had no idea what France was doing in Africa. So that's my other mission, to really expel France from extorting like $500 billion a year off the African continent. So I'm in it all the way, and I'm looking forward to coming out to the continent if I could just get past taking all these shots.
Peter, everyone, Peter may not have said it clearly that you picked up on it, but Peter is a 2020 presidential write-in candidate. I don't know if you guys are aware of that.
I'll be back.
Okay, so he wants to run for president, okay, and maybe one day he'll be our president. But we want him to get this underneath this umbrella of things he accomplished, and that is, as spoken of, the Jewish individuals can get one free trip to Israel. One free trip to Israel. They're entitled to that. We don't have that entitlement. So Peter spoke of a gentleman who is a retired federal judge who's working with us. We got a couple other people. We're going to assemble a group to put together an agenda that we want to take to Congress. So Rita, that will help answer your question. And now, will this happen overnight? It's not going to, let's be honest. But to your point about a separate group trip over there, this is where we can do negotiating with airlines, maybe Delta Airlines. If they can get a whole multiple plane loads of African Americans going over, I'm sure we can negotiate some very good, reasonable fees. But in addition to those fees of flight travel, we will have to negotiate with accommodating facilities such as R&Ds and hotels to let them know you got a big slew of people coming over here. We're looking for a discount. These people will probably never come here again, or potentially they might come and decide to make this their home. So we need you to accommodate us in your own way. And I'm sure those things can be worked out and worked through, but it takes time, okay?
I have one question.
Shoot.
Okay, the gentleman that just spoke before, I think his name is Peter. He was saying what the French are doing over there. Now, I haven't done all the research yet, but I've heard that the Chinese are over there taking our resources also. And I did read an article where they are impregnating a lot of our young girls and then walking off for them. Is that true?
That is true. And also, as I was speaking to Queen Danae Mako from Xeris, from the Northwest region of South Africa, and she was telling me that Chinese have police stations over there now.
By the way, Peter will be one of our future presenters too, Peter. I just want to put you on the map here. We'll schedule him to come on one weekend when his time and schedule permit, and do a presentation to all of you guys about what he's involved in as well, okay?
Yeah. And if I can answer your questions about mission trips, about trips, I've led about 10 mission trips over here before I settled here. And that's South Africa, Kenya, Uganda. My uncle, who's a pastor, used to go to Ghana quite a bit, in Nigeria. He actually had a home in Ghana. And so there are lots of discounts. And I even, at the beginning of this, I took you outside of my home and I said, there's a hotel right here. And I know the young man, that's the manager of that hotel. And so it's not difficult to get reasonable accommodations. Reasonable accommodations we can take care of. I believe they also have a tour service. So we could put together a list of things. I think you put together put a link to some of the top best parks to see in Uganda. And then I think I sent you a few other things. I said, hey, look, you want to see the cultural center too. You want to see the Uganda Museum. You want to see go to Jinja. You want to go to the source of the Nile. Uganda is the source of the Nile River. Lake Victoria, this lake that's right in front of my house, is the source of the Nile River. This lake starts in Jinja. The Nile River starts in Jinja and goes all the way up through Sudan, Ethiopia, and Egypt into the Mediterranean. It's the longest river in the world. And I'm not sure if that is the Amazon, but it starts right here. So this is the source right here in Uganda. And so if you want to come here, there are discounts when you get just simply 10 or more people. I think even 8 or more. So 8 or 10 or more people, you can get a group discount. From the East Coast, you might be looking at $700, $800, $900 for tickets. It might be a little more depending upon the season. For accommodations, you'll be looking, I think even from Arizona, my sister came from Indiana. I think she paid like $900, but this was a couple of years ago in January of 2019 when she came. So I don't know what the prices are post-COVID, but they could be as high as $1,100, $1,200. They could be even higher or they could be lower. One thing I do know is that African Americans go to Jamaica. They go to the Bahamas, and those tickets cost at least $700, $800 too. Last time I checked, depends on if you're coming from the East or West Coast. We go to Hawaii. Hawaii heavily subsidizes it as well. But we travel, so it's not like we don't travel. And once we get to a certain age, we shouldn't. One thing we don't want to do is wait, because time is not on our side. And so we have to use the years we have as wisely as possible. And so if you want to come, don't make waiting the reason you don't come, because we've been waiting on reparations for a long time. Now, I think they're going to come eventually, but I'm not waiting for it. I'm going to make my money before they even come here. When it comes, I'll take that and add it to the pot, but please come. And if you decide to come, please contact us. You have my information there, Tyrone. You're going to post this, I'm sure. If not, this is my company. My company is called Wakanda Enterprises, right? I've got my phone number right there. There's my website. So Wakanda Enterprises, that's the name of my company. And I'm only doing this, I'm gonna tell you honest, I'm semi-retired. And so my thing is to try to help people come here. I'm not doing it to make money. I've already made my money, I'm already retired. I've got 2 pensions, I'm fine. So, but if you wanna come and there's some way we can help you, please check out my website. It's called Wakanda, www.wakanda.co.ug, or just friend me here. There's my phone number. That's my phone number right there, +256 701 842 162. And then I also have a couple of people here on the line with me that I wanted to introduce. First was Daniel Magomo. Like I said, Daniel works in agriculture and coffee. Daniel also helps me with, he does finishings for housing since I build houses. Daniel's a very nice, very good young man. There's also here, I have Robert on here as well. And Robert is my engineer. And Robert has actually got a lot of experience. I don't know if he wanted to say hello or anything, but Robert actually is helping me with my house. Robert's building a hotel right on Entebbe Road. Robert is actually building a resort right on the other side of Entebbe Road, and he's on the line with us right now. So please, everybody, say hello to Robert. Please say hello to Daniel. These are some people that I've worked with over time, and I've actually developed a relationship with. And I have a lot more. I have a lot more people that after 22 years, you develop relationships, especially if you're working for the betterment of the community. And my thing is that, we need to bridge the gap. We need to bridge the gap.
Absolutely.
And that's between there and here, because together we're unstoppable.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I see Rena raising her hand, so I wanted to stop.
All of your, if you could move it over, I can't see all of your information. I can see box 312, and then I can't read the word after that.
That's your sign that she's talking about, your business sign, Professor J. You kind of if you can reposition. But listen, he'll post that out in the forum about his business, okay? Listen, everyone, I would be remiss if I did not recognize.
Okay, you see box 312, and that's it. Is that better?
Yes, much. Thank you.
No problem. No problem.
Listen, everyone, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize the distinguished guests that we have. And Mr. Beasley, I'm not going to let you come on and not say anything, sir. Mr. Beasley, and you might speak for yourself, sir, is a very distinguished individual in our community, has been for many years. You're a retired NFL player, is that right, Mr. Beasley?
Oh, yes, it's Beach, B-E-A-C-H.
Beach, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Beach.
I'm
That's
sorry.
okay.
See, now I get you talking. Could you say just a few words, maybe tell us, and I know you don't want to come and talk about yourself, but it would be helpful if we all knew a little bit about you, sir.
No, it's difficult for me to try to give any particular information other than the fact that my journey to Ghana a year ago changed my life, and I'm 88 years old, and I've never been so free just to be in the environment of. It's two things that the gentleman's presentation made clear to me, and the first one is racism. Is that everything that happens on the planet exists in Africa just like in the rest of the world. But the one thing that I found just so inspirational, I did not have to consider the aspect of racism. Now there's religious difference, there's ethnic differences, and there's, my son was there with me. In fact, my son sponsored it. He does fairly well economically, and he took my wife, his two children, and his wife to Ghana. And I really don't know how to share anything other than the fact that one evening he got into a situation with the police speeding in Ghana. And he said to me, he said, "Pops, the one thing I understood is that I wasn't going to get shot because I was black." Now, to some people, that may not be much. Like I said, I'm 88 years old, and I've struggled with the aspect of what motivates me and why my wife and I are planning to go back to Ghana, and more than likely will relive the remaining of my years. Is that I've been to the seminary. I went to the theological seminary in New York. I graduated from Yale Law School. I played professional football with the Cleveland Browns for 6 years. I have a Super Bowl ring. I worked for Carl Stokes, who was the first mayor of Cleveland, Ohio. So I've done the kind of things that people can kind of be proud of, but nothing has ever removed me from the reach of racism. So that's my motivation. And as I spoke to Tyrone, I said, we just need to get groups of people to understand how we can thrive on this planet. And we can thrive. A gentleman was yesterday in my home, and I was speaking to him, and you would think that Africa is what they show you in the movie about Tarzan. And that's the thing. And I mean, he's a very bright and intelligent individual. And when we mention Africa, he just couldn't even conceive. He spoke of Africa as though we had bones in our ears and was half naked. He didn't even understand. I mean, this is a sophisticated gentleman. So the thing that boggles my imagination is that in 2021 we still view the continent as backwards. And I mean, I really don't know. I don't know anything else to say except that my energy and this presentation has been beautiful. I don't even think that there are people who understand what he just said about the whole aspect of food. We don't understand that well, I don't know. Is there another way to exist on this planet in the absence of the European model? And I think that's the key for me.
Mr. Beach, I'm going to ask for, if you don't mind, because you are an incredible human being, much contribution you've already made in your life. You might have a few more up your sleeve. But if Peter, at some point, Peter, if you will, you know that what we're trying to do, if we can get Mr. Beach to at least share some points of views that will be helpful to the overall mission, I think that would be extraordinary.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. You know, and that's what I'm saying. So these type of stories, most of us we have no idea. So I really commend you on putting this together. I really commend you, and I'm with you 110%, and you know that.
This is just the beginning. Just the beginning, and again, we can anticipate that as we grow in time, we'll have more people on to get inspired. Like I see the expression on Rita's face and everybody else. I know when I first talked to this professor on the phone, I said, this guy has to be heard by more than myself. And you guys have heard a great presenter today. And we're going to get him back again because he's too valuable just to have on one time. When we get more people.
Yes, he is.
Regarding relocation. And days be enough.
But everyone, if you will, in conclusion of the meeting, if you guys will write comments that we can post out in the forum for other individuals who did not come today, maybe they wanted to, and maybe time is an issue, and I don't know what that might be, but each of you guys can inspire somebody else from this meeting that we've had today, that the next time we should have such a meeting, that we'll have much more participation and we'll get the energy flowing that we need, that positive energy of who we are, where we came from. And it's not a place as remote with people walking around with bones in their nose, Mr. Beach has pointed out by himself. But we are magnificent people, and we're going to respect that kind of thing from each of us, to respect ourselves. And knowing where we came from is actually the key, and knowing that the people that we hope to aspire to become in the process will help all of us to be better people. And Daniel, I'm going to reach out to you, my man. I'm sort of an entrepreneur in spirit. Maybe somewhere along the line we can do a coffee venture. I don't know. I'm all open. Okay. Okay, guys, listen, I have enjoyed it tremendously, and Professor G, you have blessed all of us. And so you go today and tell somebody that, you know, folks, I've blessed a lot of people with my knowledge and experience. And you have certainly done that to me, and my heart is just overloaded. And I'm sure those who are not saying anything have heard everything that I have, are inspired by you. And Rita, to your point, we're going to figure out a way to get an airplane load of us going over there. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to make that happen.
I want to say something to what Mr. B just said. In the Bible, it tells our people perish for lack of knowledge. And so those of us that either been to Africa or do research, we have to help dispel that myth. And if you walk around some states in the United States, there are people with bones in there, so that's nothing new.
That's true. That's true. but listen, guys, what we got to understand, today is just the beginning. This is our genesis today, okay? We're
Okay.
gonna have generations to come after us, so we all set the right foundation. My grandkids and their kids and grandkids beyond will one day connect to the beautiful continent as we are going to do with our mission as well. So again, I'm elated. I have not words to say to express how good I feel about this. Mr. Mackey, Grady Mackey, I know you're on as well, sir. I guess the speaker is where he can't talk. But listen, gentlemen and ladies, please take my appreciation for coming on today and devoting your time for these few minutes that we've shared. And we look forward to other events that will take place. And Peter, you know, you're going to be on the presentation floor coming up. So I'll let you decide when you want to do that. Mr. Mackey, you want to make a comment?
Oh, I'm here, Ty. I'm just thinking about my ancestry too. As we go through this conversation, I found out that my great grandfather on my dad's side was pure African. 23andMe tells me I'm 74% sub-Saharan African, so I'm ready to go.
Hey.
Well, listen, God honored me at the age of
Hey,
5.
it's interesting that the two gentlemen that are on here, I was just going to say the two gentlemen that are on here that are Ugandans, and you know, that's Robert and Daniel. They're both from the Mount Elgon Mbali region, and my ancestors are actually Luhaya, as well as Mindi and Yoruba. And so my ancestors are West African as well as East African. And if you're thinking of repatriating to Africa, you know, the things that make that process easier are having ancestral ties. If you either have ancestral ties or you have family ties, which means through marriage, children, whatever. But those family ties, just like in the United States, will help speed the process of residency. Residencies can also be received through investment. And if you invest, I believe, $50,000 US dollars as an individual, that's like you buy property, you put it into fixed deposit, you put it into treasuries. That actually speeds up your process of permanent residency. That permanent residency allows you to buy land and things of that sort. And then as a business, if you decide to start a business owning land, you'll have to either start a business, do it with a partner, you know, especially agriculture, or or establish that permanent residency or citizenship. And so it's 100,000 if you start a C corporation, and then you can hold property here too, which is a big issue for a lot of people. They ask me how they can hold property, and then maybe that's a discussion for another day. But it's you know, but it's very doable. Either through a freehold. The freehold is usually government land where they lease it to you for 99 years for business. There's leasehold, where you can actually make a conversion process where you can buy a piece of property, has an automatic conversion. They sign all the documents, transfer deed, everything is held by a codicil until you pay off, until you receive your citizenship or residency. And then there's something called a Milo title. And a Milo title gives you all rights, all privileges. You can do pretty much with your land. And that's done through citizenship or permanent residency. Or if, like I said, you have children, marriage, things of that sort, or a business, or through an investment visa. All right, so those things are available. There's companies that can help you with that as well. Our thing is really not to try to be a one-stop solution. My thing is just to direct you to the people who are professionals and let them help you, you know, and then at least so you can deal with people. You don't have to worry about them disappearing with your money or, you know, not giving you the services that you deserve, which causes, you know, fractured relationships and hurt feelings. And, you know, we don't need that. My thing is just to try to be like a modern day underground railroad conductor, right? You're trying to get from here to there, right? Or from there to here. And so if there's some things we can do to try to smooth out the way through our consultation, then we do that. You have my information. I am available. Easiest way to contact me is either WhatsApp or send me a message on Messenger. And then that way I'll respond, usually within 24 hours. Understand we're about a 7-hour time difference from the East Coast and about a 10-hour time difference from the West Coast. So if you send it at an unusual time of day, it may take me 24 hours to get back, but I don't ignore any questions. I'm a retired professor. We love questions, all right? As long as they're good questions. We just want to see you succeed. Anyway, blessings and peace from Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
My
you,
honor.
sir.
Everybody be
Nice.
good.
Also,
Daniel, I want to
okay.
talk to you in the future. Thank you, guys. You guys be blessed.
Bye.
Okay, I just missed out because I've been at work and you know, there are things that get missing, so I had to get those fixed. But I'll love to talk to you next time.
Thank you.
Daniel's working on my house. He's putting in cabinets, so he's busy this afternoon, but he wanted to join us. And Robert, I'm surprised Robert didn't say anything. Robert is the engineer. Like I said, he's a good man to know, and he actually does a very good, thorough job. But you know, definitely, it looks like he's gone here. And it looks like my cousin Romeo came in from Texas as well. Wow, that's great.
What's
Hello,
up,
Romeo. Glad to see you too. Yeah, that's I call him my little cousin, but Romeo's got to be about 6'6", 300 pounds plus.
What? That's
Yeah,
really good
oh,
food.
Romeo. Oh, and
Hey, hey, you looking good, man. You know,
that's my bodyguard.
yeah.
6'6", my
Yeah, he
goodness.
loves to go fish. Yeah, that's my little cousin. I love him very much. So I'm looking for him. He likes to fish. He actually has a fishing website, a fishing YouTube thing or whatever. So, you know, he likes to go bass fishing and some other stuff. So, you know, hey, he's a good one too. We can't wait till we get him out here so we can go and put a boat on the lake together.
Yeah.
Guys, she just came on, and hopefully we'll pronounce the name correctly. Asha. Her mom lives in Rwanda. Can you cut your mic on and speak with us a second, please?
Hello, everyone. This is Asha.
Great.
Okay. Hi. Lovely to meet you all.
Listen, I'm glad that you got on. I think you may have got on earlier out of error, but it's just that we need to understand the time zone differences.
Yeah, I'm based, so it's perfectly fine. It's 7 p.m. here.
Okay, wonderful. And listen, folks, this young lady that we have on right now, very distinguishable person as she is, she's seeking opportunities. So, she got an incredible amount of experience in her field of expertise. And I don't want to try to get into it. It's on her to, and we'll try to spread the information about her. But I hope that at some point we can develop ourselves structurally with a business model where she can be involved, because I think she can really help to generate what we're hoping to do. That is to be bigger than what we are through powerful means of communicating. So Asha, I hope that we can make something happen for you, because I know you have a lot of wonderful experience that hopefully we can utilize.
Yes, absolutely. I'd be happy to help. And thank you again for joining the call. I'm eager to catch up on what you guys have been working on and see how I can be of use.
And the last piece too, guys, her mother, Stella, is developing a t-shirt that we're going to have available for people to buy, which will have Exploring the Continent title on it. And what we want to do, if we can, support each other in our business world. You know, we don't send money to Africa. We're not going to fight over that issue. But if for some reason, some individuals might want to try to do business with businesses over there, I think it would be a great thing to happen as well. So we got a lot of opportunity to explore different aspects of what we can do jointly. Hi, Stella. How are you?
I was just getting plugged in.
Great. We're almost at the point of concluding the meeting, but I'm glad you guys got on. Even at this last minute, it was very helpful. But we're going to be meeting again, and I think we'll have to develop a better timetable our next meetings. So we'll try to communicate better in the future about when you should get on as to what time the meeting will be scheduled, okay? Okay, good folks. I think we might want to conclude right now, but Professor G, thank you for the blessing, sir.
Amen. Amen. You're blessed. Hey, it's been a blessing to me too. And like I said, you're all welcome. If I can say one thing in parting is that you're welcome home. And that if you can, before you leave this earth, please come see the continent of Africa. Come home and visit Mother Africa. You will not regret it. It's a trip of a lifetime. And if you decide to come East Africa, West Africa, South Africa, I've been to South Africa and I've been throughout the east of Africa. I haven't been west yet, but it's on my plan. I've been to North Africa, but if you can come here, you certainly you're certainly welcome here. And if there's anything I can do to help you, I certainly will try my best or to direct you to the resources to be able to get you whatever you would like to do or wherever you like to see. So we are here for you. And that if you're interested in coming, my thing is don't wait too long. Whenever you can, just start planning. Because sometimes when you start planning, you take that first step of faith, things have a way of coming to you as you start moving towards your goals. And so be people of purpose and destiny. Come on home, visit Mother Africa. It'll change your life. It'll change your life. It just will. And there's nothing I can say that can halfway describe the experience.
Thank you, sir.
Professor Gee, can I just show them your house, the house we are working on? Is that okay?
Yes. What's that now?
Your house.
I'll be right there.
So no, I just wanted to show them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, show them the house, Dan. Hey, do you have a second?
Okay.
He's gonna show you my house.
Yeah, please.
He's gonna show you my house.
So just right there, that's where Lake Victoria is. So when you walk right in, that's where the living room you enter. You can even have a party right there. So there is that. You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
No, I can see you.
Okay. Okay,
But
sorry
it's
about
frozen.
so
It's frozen at the window.
so you
Okay, I see now.
there is the guest. There is this guest room. Is it locked? I think you locked it. So
I don't think I opened it because you guys didn't.
those are the cabinets which you're working on. So those are the cabinets which you worked on. That's the living room where the TV section I think will be.
Professor G, I'm just looking for when I have dinner with you, by the way.
So
What's that?
many other rooms. Yes. So there is that beautiful view as well. You can see where that lake is. I think that's enough, right?
Yeah. Did you show them from the front? From the front porch?
From the front
veranda?
Okay. There is that.
I think those doors are closed.
Yeah, because they are locked. So maybe when I just move outside. So these are the cabinets we worked on. So we're still finalizing.
Right.
So let me just get to that. So that's how it is. That's the front.
Beautiful.
And
Professor G, are you going to
just
install an
next
air
in
conditioning
the
unit?
neighborhood.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry, what did you say again?
Are you
Tyrone?
going to install an air conditioning unit, or you said there's no need for that? An air condition?
No. At the lake, it only gets up to 75 degrees. It's a constant breeze. The hottest may be 80, but it's only an hour or two a day. And there's a constant breeze off the lake because there's nothing to block the breeze. So it's just not needed. It really isn't. At 75 degrees during the day, it gets down to maybe 60 degrees at night. So the weather's it's just perfect. It really is.
So this is the neighborhood.
Oh, okay. So you took them out to the street too. Okay.
Yeah, I just want them
Yeah,
to
my
see.
house is one of the smallest in the area. It's actually 4-bedroom, 4-bath. Ah, there's Robert. Hello, Robert.
Yeah.
Robert got excited.
I'm fine.
Hey, Robert.
Yeah, I greet you I greet
Hey.
all ladies and gentlemen. And I take this opportunity to thank Professor G for including me on this panel. I'm greatly blessed. Just I've been watching, I've never used it, Zoom. This is my first time. I had to keep quiet and learn the situation, the process. But it's like I've caught up something. That's why I have released myself to say something about it. First of all, I'd like to thank the host and all the panelists who have taken their time, have sacrificed their time to come and offer their intelligent speech on this. I can only say I'm greatly honored to have heard all what I've heard in my life. Professor G is a blessing. I have nothing much to say about Professor G, but I can only conclude he's a blessing in my life. It's about 8 months or 9 months when I met him, and I don't regret why I met him. I give God the glory because of that. I also give glory to God because of the name is Tyrone, something like that, the host. Thank you for organizing these things. Like you could call a seminar or a speech or a talk show like this one. I am blessed, but Africa, as you said, we are where we are because of little knowledge we acquire. So updated with the current knowledge. But if only we are given a chance to have better knowledge, Africa can raise up like a lion and moves on, I'm sure. Secondly, at school I heard about Greenland, but I believe they forgot Uganda is a true Greenland country in the world. Full of rivers, fresh rivers, rivers with fresh water, lakes, forests, and all that. As Professor G articulated his points, please, you are most welcome to our beautiful country, Uganda, and we shall always be there to receive you. Come and exercise your talents, economically, technologically, and even spiritually. Those who believe in God. Because the world accommodates everybody, whether they don't believe in God or you believe in God, still God will give you a chance to live. So you can exercise whatever talent you have, because I believe every human being is brought on earth to be a resource to at least one person or more. So therefore, I welcome you to Uganda. Bring your technological resources, financial resources, even your human resources. Bring them. We will appreciate and embrace it well. Secondly, with the VAR technology, we are moving on with the real estate of Professor G. That's his vision at the moment. As he articulated, he began with spiritual things in Tororo with Pastor Kwang, built that Pentecostal house, church. He has been helping so many organizations. Lastly, not finally, with the real estate, which is a very big blessing. Naturally, everybody believes in having a shelter, and he's touching lives. Because whether you're wicked, whether you're righteous, whether you're what, you need a shelter. And that is a very wonderful project. We need your help, we need your hand, and he can move on. Because you've seen that house is very good and is on sale. I believe it can suit you in America, though we are in a third world country, but sometimes, or in cases, we're doing some up-to-date shelters which can accommodate you, feel comfortable. That one, I give God the glory because of that. I wouldn't want to waste much time. Maybe next time I'll have what to say concerning economics and how I've moved. But then I'd like to wind up and say thank you and may God bless you.
Thank you, Robert.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, a dynamic day again. I want to reiterate that. If anybody else have any parting comments, would be appreciated. But the bigger goal now is the next meeting. Hopefully, we can triple the amount of people that get in and get inspired and to learn more about what we need to know. So that's the next goal, is to have another meeting, but to increase the number of participants. And I think we'll get there. Okay. So if nobody else have anything else to share or to say, again, I'm very grateful to everyone for being part of this, okay?
Can I just introduce someone? She's a friend of mine. We've been doing share butter business. She's called Sharon. I think let her say hi.
Great,
She's
please.
been on. Sharon. Sharon. Oh.
She's muted. She may not know that she's muted.
I don't know why.
It's okay.
I think she thinks that she has unmuted, but I think she's already muted.
Daniel, I do want to say this to you. Mr. Mackey and I spoke just moments ago about your lack of distribution, and we might be able to do something in the USA. We don't know right now. There's no restrictions on being willing to try. So we have no restrictions right now. So hook it together if we can. Maybe we can work out a distribution network in the USA for your coffee product. I drink a lot of coffee, by the way, and I'm sure other people than myself. So that's a separate venture that we can work on, and hopefully something can materialize that will benefit you guys, okay, as well.
I appreciate that.
Okay. By the way,
because actually, there are so many grades of coffee that most coffee companies don't talk about. There is even a specific grade that can be taken by diabetes people, and they don't need to put in sugar because the coffee itself, the beans are sweet. So there is a diverse, we can talk about that when the right time reaches, and I'll be glad to share that.
You please do.
Yeah, maybe also to add on that.
I see Sharon finally. Hi, Sharon. Welcome.
Hi, I lost contact and I was trying to get back. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi.
Hello. Hey, Sharon, how are you?
Hi.
Actually, Sharon was planning to, in the future, to maybe visit Uganda, and as well as get more into the shea butter business we are handling together. She actually thinks of, owning land, building, I think, a simple house there as she, penetrates more with, the shea butter business. Because as you know, Uganda is the biggest distributor of shea butter after Ghana and Nigeria. And for Uganda, it's different because it's called East African shea butter. And and we are the biggest distributor of that. Regardless, so there are two other countries who produce that's Sudan and Kenya, but Uganda is the best with the East African shea butter compared versus to the West African shea butter, which the Nigerians and Ghana do. So yeah, she's there. She's trying to push the business forward, making more formulations and things like that. Yeah. So I just wanted her to just say hi to you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Well, folks, I think with that, I know it's kind of hard to leave because I think it's so much positive energy going on here. But I think we might need to conclude our day at this point. But this, again, is the beginning. And we have much more that we'll do in the future. So again, all thanks and glory to Professor G for inspiring us to be who we are capable of being and telling us wonderful things that we would realize if we just step on the continent, which I have not, Professor G, I have not up until this point in my life. But that will change, I can assure you of that. Be blessed, everyone, by all means.
Be blessed too.
Blessings.
Thank you.
All right, take care, everybody.
Okay, take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, Stella.
All right.
I couldn't find my volume.
Don't worry.
I just found it.
In the future, we'll get all that. Stella, you're gonna have to come on and present some of those things that you're gonna be able to hopefully promote, okay? The dresses
Okay.
and so forth.
Okay, all right.
All right, guys.
Thank
Y'all
you.
have a wonderful
When will
day.
be the next meeting?
Bye,
All
everyone.
right,
Thank
take
you.
care, everybody.
Yes?
Be blessed.
All right. Same.